Hey team, welcome to the hip and glute saver mobility video. So this is perfect if you have tight hips or glutes that sometimes hurt, especially from sitting at your desk or sitting on the couch or sitting in bed, all the sitting, okay? These are some of my favorite mobility exercises. So we're gonna be doing a stretch, a strengthener, and then another stretch, okay? So let's do our first one, the 90-90 stretch. This one is one of my faves, so we're gonna start with the windshield wipers. So feet in front of you, nice and wide, hands behind you. Drop the knees to one side, bring them back up, drop them to the other side. What you're gonna do here is notice how tight or not tight, depending on the person, your hips are. So how easy it is to bring your knees to the floor or close to the floor on each side. Then we're gonna bring the knees to the ground on one side and make two 90-degree angles with our legs. So in front, 90-degree angle, knee is directly in front of my hip, and then directly to the side. Make sure this one is directly to the side of your hip, not forward or too far back. From here, we're gonna bring our hands forward and we're gonna go so that our chest comes right over the front of this knee. You can hold yourself in this position with your forearms on the ground or your hands on the ground in front of you, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're gonna be here for just 20 seconds or so, holding the static stretch to begin. And you're probably gonna start to feel the stretch in your glute, right, of this front leg. You're probably already feeling it, which is great. That's what we want. So we wanna be stretching that glute muscle in this position. And then what we're gonna do is bring our fingertips to the ground, elbows to the sky, and we're gonna move our chest along the line of this shin, back and forth, so that we're stretching different parts of the glute in a different range of motion. So back and forth along this line. You're gonna pause anywhere that feels like it needs a little extra love. So for me, that's closest to the foot, pausing here, and then continuing on just a couple times to further the stretch. Beautiful. Coming up to a sitting position, you're gonna come down onto the forearm on your side. So if your left leg is in front, you're on your left forearm. You're gonna reach overhead and you're gonna push this back hip forward until you feel a stretch through your hip flexor and a little bit into your quad on that back leg. We're gonna hold it here for 15 seconds, enjoying this static stretch. Oh, I love stretching my hip flexors. And I love this stretch and mobility movement. All right, coming back to sitting position, you're gonna go back and forth in that windshield wiper again, and notice if the leg that was in front, so your left leg, if your left leg was in front, is feeling a little bit more mobile, a little less stiff, a little more able to reach the ground when we're doing our windshields. If yes, great, it worked. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna spin around so that I'll be facing you. So again, 90-degree angles, directly in front, directly to the side. Coming down so that our chest is coming over this front knee, coming onto your elbows or staying on your hands and holding here for about 15 to 20 seconds in the static stretch. Starting to feel the stretch in your glute. Hopefully it feels good. Feels good for me. Fantastic. And then we're coming up onto our fingertips, elbows to the sky, and again, tracing our chest along that line of our shin, or close to it. It's not supposed to be directly following it. Again, pausing anywhere that feels like it needs a little extra stretching or love. Good. And then coming up into our sitting position and then down onto our forearm. Again, pressing the back hip forward now, feeling the stretch up through your quad into your hip flexor and bringing the arm overhead, holding here for 15 seconds. Fantastic, and then last windshield wiper, back and forth, Hopefully the hips are feeling mobile as heck, feeling so good and supple and smooth, all of the good things. Okay, what we're gonna do next is a strengthening mobility movement, okay? So this is going to be in a tabletop position, as I am demonstrating, and you're gonna be doing hip circles, okay? So what that entails is making a big circle with your knee so that your hip comes up and your glute is engaged, okay? So try to make the biggest circle you can with your knee with full control and then back, okay? Let's do 5 of these on each side, nice and controlled. 1, going back the opposite way. 2, because we want to build strength in the full range of motion. 3, 4, 5, beautiful. Same thing, other leg, here we go. Big range of motion all the way up. And if you're not able to get the same range of motion as me, that's okay. Doing the best you can with what you have. 4, last one, 5. If that one's feeling really tough, another good one to build up to it is the hydrant. So just lifting your leg as high as you can. You're gonna feel it in your side glute, and you're gonna build strength that way. All right, last one, we're gonna come to standing. So on our feet, we're gonna start with reaching overhead, bending forward, legs are straight, feet are gonna be squat distance, and we're gonna bring the bum all the way down so you're in a deep squat. You're gonna adjust your feet so that you can stay in this position for about a minute or so. What we're gonna do to start is sit in this position, pressing your elbows into your knees, trying to squeeze your glutes and bring your knees a little bit wider apart from each other. Hopefully that feels good. It should feel good, but it might feel a little bit uncomfortable if you're not used to this position. This should feel good though. Next, we're gonna wiggle and rotate our hips back and forth in this deep squat position. Lifting one heel at a time as your bum goes towards that side. Hands can be on the ground for support. 3, 2, 1, fantastic. Sending the bum up, extending the legs, and coming back, standing position. That's it for our hip and glute saver quick mobility video. Again, come back to this whenever you need or any of these exercises to help save the glutes.